Here we are on the threshold of the grand finals. Two teams standing just outside, waiting to fight to get in. Froyotech needs no introduction as they are the most well-known team inside of TF2 with their brand new lineup as we're getting live here. On the other side is Prevail, a brand new team. Many veterans of the comp TF2 scene. Will they be able to take rounds off of Froyotech? Will they be able to win out here tonight? We'll find out. But we're just going to go live here. I got no time for introduction. They're just running to the midpoint. I got Flare on my side, Dolphin behind the scenes. And a production that is just going a little bit quickly. Got Bull here out on the side for the Prevail. Could be ringing for them as Mad Ring Me up on Spy. And we'll see how this slow mid-fight's going on. Bane does go on down early, though.
And we can see the on the side of Prevail. They're actually walking
goodness.
straight forward. There's a huge jump in from Rain as he decimates the side of Prolander. And Space Ghost just getting chased out here, getting cleaned up. And Baddies come in trying to get a return kill on BM. BM does go down and is wow, just a really quick mid-fight coming out there as Bull comes in with the team. Rain comes in, capitalizing off that damage, just cleaning everything up quickly. And right as that cap gets ready to be captured, they're in.
Yeah, I think the big thing that happened there was that Benny went down, so that kind of takes away some of your anti-aircraft guns of the Soldier Bombing, and Benny eats another headshot as Zilly goes down. Habib actually eating a lot of damage. Here comes out the Uber charge. It's going to go across the point as Nursey's only at 45% right now, but nothing's really happening from it as Benny getting a good job. Here comes in Mad Ringme. He decloaks, but he is not going to go for a stab. Here comes in the bomb in. Rain's going to use that distraction, and Nursey goes down. Great combo play there as Mad Ringme delayed his run up to make sure that it was coordinated with the soldier and they get the pick they needed.
Yeah, just a lot of aggression coming out from the side of Froyo, even though they're on the back foot. And Prevail had Shay sitting really pretty, just looking into their concrete, but no fear coming out from Froyo, just walk forward. And now we can see the reverse coming out from Prevail as Bull leads the charge, walking forward. Toy a little behind, trying to tank on a Bull, but Bull's kind of furthest forward. Rain jumps in, getting on top of a beep, leading a beep up on the sidelines as BM walks under as a Pyro, taking as much control of that under area as he can. Pushing Zilly all the way back as he gets forced all the way out too. Bandy going down to a pipe spam from Bull as now they're getting stuck on that concrete side. Mad getting huge, picking off Yoshi and Space Ghost. Now Nursey, Zilly, and Habib all forced to retreat as BM's actually coming in from that basement and forcing them all the way back. Broyo's not going to be able to take any ground at all.
Yeah, I mean, as much as Prevail is looking in control right now, they're only up by about 20 seconds. It's not looking at, but we'll see if they can continue to hold on to this. They do have an Uber advantage, but it's only about 20%. So Froyotech is probably just going to wait out, another 5-10 seconds before they push in here. Now, the real question is, how are they going to use this Uber? All of the Froyotech's on the left-hand side as Zilly's pushing in against Rain, eats a lot of damage. Banny looks like he wants to go underneath, eating some damage spam. They're actually going down to half HP. He will be able to get reconnected back up with Nursey. As looks like they're going to start coming across the point here, but how are they going to want to do it?
I don't know, we can see them just looking to trade spam across here. Habib walking off the right side over with 3 players and one big sticky spam go. You do not want to count Habib out, and it comes the taunt from the enemy's battlements, but the point isn't captured yet, but really, who cares about that when you've been finessing on the enemy team quite like Habib has been?
Yeah, that is wow, that was absolute annihilation. It looks like that was crits in some way, but Nursey didn't pop. I'm a little bit confused there as to what I saw, but that was absolute annihilation coming out of Habib as Rain's coming in here. Here comes in Mad Ring. He does get spotted, but Beam's going to run in. While that distraction, the bomb in from Rain. They get the force off onto Nursey. Toy will go down in response, though. Habib goes across. Great grab onto Nursey, saving Habib down so incredibly low, but here comes in Rain. BM still in, trying to get a lot of damage down. Nursey will get traded out there, down for 18 seconds as Mad Rigme trying to push back onto the point. He's going to easily get spotted out. Ash should go down here, surely down to 1 HP, but Ash is going to live here for a little bit longer as Shay gets traded out. And Bull on the backside takes Banny down to 1 HP as well. And they continue to live here, but Prevail looking to push right away.
Yeah, non-stop action as we can see Rain coming right back in, looking to take as much ground as possible, instantly being challenged by Banny as he's forced to jump back out. Toy faking some Uber in. Zilly goes in for the bomb, does get Toy going down, but Pablo does actually manage to capture the point, but it looks like Furrio's just going to be able to walk right back on it with Space Ghost taking forward ground, but Mad picking off the bead. Will this be the signal for them to come in? Bold going in for a big bomb. Rain actually picking off Nursey on the sidelines. Mad coming in ready for another stab. Furrio does not cap the point, and as Bull retreats, even though the side of Furrio still has all these players, they don't look too comfortable advancing. And finally, Panty coming up on the point with Ash. Ash looking to get down a mini, but finally as everyone's trading out damage, Banny manages to capture that point, and they're coming back in again as BM and Toy and Pablo all on this far side of the point, trading as much damage as they can. It's heavy against heavy, but they're not able to clean that up as Banny comes in, kills out BM, but Pablo takes out Banny, but now reigns in on the point, taking as much as he can, but he's getting forced out as Nursey looking to come forward. Yosh setting up on the sidelines too, Space Ghost sitting over here, Habib alone on the far side, taking a 1 versus 1 against the Spies. He bumped back into him, and Rain going down actually to the Habib spam, and Yosh also getting counter-sniped, and Habib still playing forward, absolutely no fear whatsoever. Pablo coming right back in, just non-stop action. No one's able to take any kind of breaks here as Bad goes in for a stab, but Nursey's getting backed up. They're using that Dispenser's armor. Space goes on that side, spamming them out. Looks like Prevail's not happy trying to walk forward in this situation, but with a Heavy and a Demo Man finally both forward at the same time, and their scout coming in. Bull and Pablo looking to get as much ground as possible.
We're on pause here, so I'll let you take it away, Flair.
Yeah, we can see exactly that coming out as Habib and Nursey using that Uber to stand right on that point, but it looks like because that Uber's fading, and with Toy getting a better Uber just slightly, they're managed to just hold on to that point, and that unfortunately the clock's a little glitched here, so I'm gonna have to make a couple guesses as to what the time's going to actually be, but we can see Zilly's coming in, bombing in far, and looking to get on top of Toy, but Habib taking as much ground as he can, walking in on that side, just non-stop aggression again coming in. Banny walking forward, trying to take the fight versus BM, but Habib's not quite getting the angle for those stickies, not getting any damage, but Zilly does actually come in for the cleanup, and Yosh on the sidelines manages to headshot Toy as he attempts to retreat, so there's not going to be any heals coming out for Froyo, for Prevail as they decide to come back in, so Froyo looking like they're managed to hold on to this, and that's finally the round coming for Froyo in a convincing win.
Yeah, Banny, Habib stepping up there in the top 2 point totals. They're actually outpointing their medic, if that's the word, outpointing. We're going to go with it. As we come into the second mid fight, it feels like they're going to have to figure out how to get some more frags on those guys, as obviously they're stepping up big here in that first round. But Shay does take down Yoshi. That is a sniper advantage here for Prevail. And that's going to make Froyotech play a little bit more passively here, as they know they can't step onto the point uncontested. But Zilly does go around to the backside. That is going to force off or make Shay feel a little bit less comfortable. Banny goes down, Habib goes down, and this is surely the midpoint for Prevail. But Zilly trying to get Toy, but Prevail will be able to defend their medics here.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing how that initial sniper pick just completely took the air out of Froyo's push. You can see them all hanging behind their fence, not willing to start contesting that point as they held really passive angles, and that just allowed for Prevail to start walking forward. But now we can see that these Ubers are ready to come back out and trade again, and Nursey's walking forward with Space, and Banny and Habib both taking aggressive positions here. Banny initiating that cap, and Zilly off in the sidelines in the tunnel, raining down spam, but it doesn't seem like Froyo's quite willing to actually take a fight yet, as Nursey's sitting back, but finally this Uber comes out, leading on Banny as they go forward trying to get any kill, but Zilly does go down, and without Bowl on side of Prevail, they're not going to have quite that damage output that they'd be hoping to, but it looks like Froyo isn't quite willing to take that fight during that Uber, so they back up, and looking like they're ready to come back in and take these fights again.
We'll see what they can do. Mad Ringme does take down Yosh, so that's a sniper advantage for Shay as he takes down Habib as well, and so it looks like they're going to hold on to this. Zilly's going to walk in onto the enemy team. Toy goes down, and that was from Ash, who actually came up from underneath, so nice job there from the engineer. Stepping up big as BM takes him down in kind. BM's currently also on the flog, so expect to see maybe an underneath play. Actually, here we go. BM on the flog, he popped it. He's coming in from underneath. Will he be able to get anything? He's going on. Does he find Nursey? Nursey's so far away. The Sentinel actually will take him out. He does take down Yoshi in the process, so, you know, if you're not going to take down the medic, taking down the sniper is a pretty damn good pick, and so that's going to allow Shay here to get some free reign on to the point, but we can see Prevail up by about a minute right now.
Yeah, and they're happy to just sit over here and take this ground as they start walking out of their concrete, but, you know, Froyo's just really happy to play forward as well, but now, without these players actually denying space, looks like Prevail's just going to walk forward, but Zilly does go in for a huge bomb, not actually getting much. Toy's still sitting alive on full health, but they're finally walking out with their heals as Pablo's sitting on that side, ready to start taking some trades here, but it looks like Bowl, not having any support from his team, just gets cleaned up on the side, and this Uber's coming out from Nursey and Banny as they're chasing through the basement, looking to get Shay almost barely going down. Nursey actually getting the Uber saw. Being chased down now by this flog, but Nursey retreats up to that health pack, and BM on this flog's not actually able to get out now. He's stuck behind in a terrible position, finally actually getting back to his team, and looking like Froyo was just willing to take that trade and back up again.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a questionable push out of Bowl there. He went by himself alone on the left-hand side, easily got cleaned up by Froyotech. It feels like Bowl's dying at really inopportune times here, Prevail, but here we go, BM, he's got the flog, he's gonna go jump down from this left-hand side. Here he goes, onto it, takes down Space Ghost, going for Nursey, takes her down, and is going to be able to clean up one more. It's a 3K for BM. That's going to open up. Ash goes down, Banny's forward, as Zilly behind the scenes does take down Shay. So at least the sniper advantage here will be in the favor as Zilly, he shouldn't have let that happen. Prevail, they just let their medic die there. Down for 14 seconds. They are in the lead right now, but for how long? As Nursey and company are going to be back up here in just a few seconds. And Froyotech has been doing a really good job at dry pushing back out onto the point.
Yeah, it's just a really, really messy fight overall because BM jumped in from the side with those crits flogs, but he didn't quite get the picks he was initially looking for coming on Space Ghost. Dealt a lot of damage, but the cleanup wasn't quite there. Did actually manage to get on top of Nursey dying. But right after that, their team was not just cleaning up flanks properly, so Zilly managed to come in from the back, get a pick off on Shay, and Bull just beefing a few of his pipes, and Zilly managed to get a follow-up kill on Toy. So now these Ubers actually coming out on the side of, the advantage coming out on the side of Nursey now, and Froyotech looking like they're wanting to take this roughly 40% Uber forward, but Khabib going down, Shay picking him off too, so this aggression's being tapped down a little bit on the side of Froyo. Space Ghost sitting in that tunnel, shooting out Rain, some tunnel-to-tunnel action, but no real aggression coming out from Froyo.
Yeah, I mean, usually you're going to have your Khabib walking forward, creating space for your team. You kind of go in behind that. You also can use your sniper to kind of create space as well, and both those were the first two picks against Froyotech. And so, with only 20 seconds left on the clock, this is looking very good. Prevail to tie it up, and Nursey's currently at 100%. Toy only at 70% due to that earlier death. Bull has to be careful he doesn't get caught out here. Zilly underneath, but they're just letting Froyotech walk in. They're finally getting some capture time down here, but it looks like they're going to allow it to go into overtime. Bull disconnected away from his medic, has to be careful, as Froyotech is kind of baiting the point, and here comes out the Uber charge.
Yeah, it seemed like they were baiting out for that Uber, but no, finally Prevail actually getting forced to use that Uber preemptively against Froyotech, as Froyotech's very happy to just take that better Uber trade, sit back on point now. Bull actually going down, nice headshot from Yosh, but Yosh getting counter-sniped by Shay, sitting all the way on the back here, looking like Shay wants to get some headshots over on the point, but Khabib's in a terrible position, gets hit by a body shot. Matt looking like he's managed to retreat actually, but without Nursey around to heal, Habib's gonna have to go all the way back. But Toy's also up now, so about 15% Uber ad, maybe come down to about 20% when they finally come back in. Nursey not having anyone to heal, so you know, fingers crossed for Prevail. If they play this Uber advantage right, they'll be able to come right back in and get this cap and get that round.
Yeah, that was a good play out there out of BM. He went underneath, got the Nursey frag. Actually, Nursey went down really low, but was actually out healing the afterburn damage. But Shay takes down Nursey and in kind. I believe that was the demo goes down. Bolt got taken down as well. So only three players left here for Froyotech. They need to defend this point, but will they be able to do it? The mini sentry's up. There's nobody to really be able to deal with it. It just hits scan classes. Banny onto Toy, misses the beat, but he is able to land that final shot. 46 seconds left in the clock here. As Froyotech, they're able to defend this and Prevail. They just need to play together. That's the biggest thing they're going wrong, is they're trying to make miracle plays, and they're getting kind of pincered by Froyotech. If they play together, they have a chance here. 30 seconds left in the clock. How are they going to go this as we see all of them coming back up now?
Well, with only about less than 30 seconds now coming, they do have to rely on this miracle play. This consistent option isn't available. Nursey's got that Uber advantage, so Bull and Pablo just gonna have to walk on that point, but Pablo does go down, so Bull's trying to take the fight against Habib, but he's actually, despite having the heal beam on them, Bull is losing that fight, but he does hit two miracle pipes onto Habib. Bull with that X Factor, but now he's taking a solo fight against three of their players. Rain coming in trying to support Bull, do his best, but Zilly's hanging on with a scrap of health, finally going down. It's these two explosive classes sitting on this point, up against the heavy, but Mad coming in trying to get some pistol shots in. Space Ghost finally going down to a ball, and Pablo getting the cap. What a miracle round coming out from Prevail on the edge of that cap.
So utterly. Space Ghost, I think he might have ate a headshot at the end there to save that round, because he had very high HP up until the very end. That headshot onto him really took him down a lot and was able to allow Prevail to be able to take that. If Space Ghost was at full health, they definitely would have been able to defend that, or at least had a much better chance. But we'll see what they can do as we are tied up here 1-1. This is the best of 5 series. First team to 3-round wins will take the map in this best of 3 map series. As Nursey going down to half HP early on here. Bull taking a good round for his team, but Zilly coming in. Beautiful bomb in onto Toy, takes him down. Prevail does have the number advantage right now. Nursey has to be careful, might get caught underneath here, eating so much damage. Will get eat the rocket, and Mad Ridme comes in for the cleanup. And what a nice job out of Prevail. They lose their medic, but they clean up on the frags, and they're going to take down, I think this is the 3rd mid fight that they've won.
Yeah, and Cascade's reputation coming out again as a medic killer. Nursey and Toy both not having the greatest survivability. There's so much open space for both Rain and Zilly to just get on top, and it definitely hurts Prevail a little bit because they're not running a heavy or an NG to be able to deny those bombs, instead running a Spy and a Pyro respectively, and BM's on that Flog, so it's not like he's going to be able to air blast bombers away. So just interesting choice coming out, but you know, it seems to be working out for them because that extra offensive capabilities letting them come in and trade out Nursey every single time when Toy goes down. So Habib actually taking a really strange forward position over in that tunnel, dying to simple sticky spam from Bull, but looking like Ash just walking forward, getting that mouse one onto Shay, and Bull going down as well to Banny, just a couple really well placed meat shots. So Ash now finally be able to take that ground as well, just sit on point, get a lot of cap down. So without Toy in that front lines there, looking like they just want to give this point up.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to do that, but that's, as you said, probably the right thing to do here. Keep your medic alive, keep your Uber advantage, re-engage. They have about a minute lead right now. This is almost every single round has been the same. Prevail takes the opening fight. They take about a minute off the clock. Frotech retakes it. But really, it's just a question where they go from here. But that's a great opening. Shay going down, sniper advantage here. As you can see, Prevail, they can walk across the plane with impunity. And let's see what they want to do with this. It's going to be Uber charges on either side. It's going to be first popped out of Frotech. Much better Uber charge, about 40% better. Are they going to get frags with it, though? Out of Prevail. Mad Ring needs to come in with the backstab early on here. Nursey whiffs it on the backside. Nursey will go down, but Frotech, so many frags in their favor. Here comes in Rain, picks up one more. And what looked to be going in the favor of Prevail. Frotech is just out DMing them to hold on to the point and take the lead in terms of time.
Yeah, even though the Uber came out so much better from the side of Prevail, they mispositioned for the post Uber. They were in a strange, really tight area where Furrio just wrapped under to avoid some shots, or wrapped around the other side of the point and pincered them. But finally, we can see Prevail actually coming back in, just taking advantage of those numbers and those bad health on the side of Furrio since Nursey went down. So they're running back up. But even off the miracle cap from Prevail, it looks like Furrio's just walking right back in, cleaning everyone up. So better numbers on the side of Prevail, but worse health, and they have to back out. But finally, Rain coming back in and cleaning up Space Ghost as he's forced to back up, and Ash actually trapped in a terrible position over on the enemy's basement, but Yosh sitting over on his basement looking like he wants to just shoot that point. So it's really strange fights coming out, despite the fact that Prevail wanted to back up right after they got the cap. Furrier just not able to capitalize, and ended up beating some players as a result. And Banny also. Little bonus kill on BM.
Yeah, we'll see what they're going to do here. Frotech down about 50%. Zilly, actually, Shay taking a headshot onto Ash there. As Habib getting a lot of ground for his team. He's going to be forced to back up. It's going to be Space Ghost going down, but here comes out Uber charge. It has a huge advantage. They're trying to chase down Nursey. Pablo trying to go all the way across, but Nursey's going to run out with Banny. But the big thing is that it's going to be Prevail holding on to this point even more so. They just got to be careful right now. You don't want to get any bad frags in the favor of Frotech here, because every death on a Prevail is going to be that long spawn timer. So nice job out of getting the frags, but keeping everybody alive. 45 seconds left on the clock here for Prevail.
And Banny, oh no, that would be Pablo trying to take some ground over on their tunnel, but Zilly's actually making some space, getting some forward ground, just standing in his tunnel, able to spam some guns. But BM's actually back on the degreaser now. He's actually able to air blast, so Zilly's bomb does get instantly denied. But off of that initial bomb, looks like Furry's able to just start walking forward, and with just like I mentioned,
what?
Oh my god! Bull! How do you do that? Nursey going down, but it looks like they're not actually willing to get the cap quite yet. Do they even realize they do not have the point? Banny,
no,
just
they're doing it so
point.
Nursey respawns. They waited so Nursey respawns there. Else she'd be put on a longer respawn time. And the difference between a couple seconds to that situation, not as big of a deal as having your medic down for another 5 seconds. And so they are going to come down with the point there, but Bull, my man, the myth, the legend, that was insane. I don't know if that was a pipe sticky or what exactly he did there, but it's going to be great for his team. Very early Uber pop out of Prevail. They're coming across here. Nursey getting some damage, going down pretty low, as being chased across, but are they going to come down at the point? Here comes in Zilly with the re-engagement. A lot of damage onto Toy. They're going to be going down. Just 2 players left alive, Yosh and Nursey, and it's not going to be enough. They're going to hold on to this point. They only have ×1 capture on it, but Frotech are just going to get the respawns in now, but I don't think it's going to be enough. 5 seconds left on the clock.
Unfortunately, with this little time remaining, with these players so far back, there's just no way they get there in time. Nursey getting a little bit of a rock taunt in, just you know, clear up the salt a little bit. That was a miracle bomb from Bull, and hopefully we can see more of that coming in again on this next mid fight. You know, what do you think? How do you think Froyo should be playing this coming in? Because they've been losing every single mid fight.
I think they've just been losing that sniper duel. One of the things is that Mad Rigby's been getting on Yosh so much, he hasn't been able to be a factor this game. I mean, that's just the power of the spy class and works out well. Banny going down early on in fights as well is working against them, and so they just get kind of forced back awkwardly. Zilly going down. Toy did get traded out there, and so that's going to at least give the medic advantage here for Froyotech. But I'm actually surprised for Veil. It looks like they're going for frags rather than capturing the point. You know, Froyotech's playing this so passively. They easily could have captured that point, but it looks like Froyotech is actually going to take this first mid-fight. Oh, Narain, though, does take down Nursey late. And so that is going to give the Uber advantage back in the favor of Prevail.
Well, there you go. That's why they wanted to hold back. You know, walking forward, it seems like they've started to feel that Rain's going to be walking forward, playing in some weird angle, trying to find that late pick onto Nursey to really just neutralize that heal advantage, because now we can see Toy and Bull both coming in with that heal beam ready, and Nursey's not quite in a position to come in and contribute to this fight yet. So, oh dear, Bull walking forward now. Mad getting the kill on Nursey as well. BM walking forward with that. Oh, just big frags coming out. Too much chaos. Bull sitting alone on that point, and BM finally coming back in. But Bandy looked like he does not want to give this up so easily. He's making sneaky play on the under, getting on top of Toy. One meat shot. Missed the second one, thieving a little bit. Toy surviving with less than 30 health. Banny, unfortunately, getting in position, but whiffing those crucial shots.
Yeah, able to get one solid one, miss a second, and got a little bit on the third, but just not enough. Toy doing a good job dancing, and nice job out of BM being able to clean up that frag so quickly. So 100% Uber charge here for coming up for Toy, as he's about a 70% advantage over his BM running into Banny. He's going to go down. Banny's going to just die running in here. Nursey gets taken down, though. Shay getting the headshot, so that Uber advantage, I mean, they can pretty much use this for free if they want to. They should defend this point. And they're going to take down Space Ghost dropping down to here, but I don't even think they need to. Here comes in Toy. Zilly getting popped back. Toy drops! Pop it, don't drop it, brother! As he wanted to hang out there, but he just wasn't able to right-click in time. Prevail holds on to the point, but for how long? As they're going to just lose the rest of the players almost surely.
Zilly coming in for a couple more just bonus frags on the top of Shay and Bull, looking like this is going to absolutely decimate the defensive Prevail as Froyotech's coming back in. Brain coming in, trying to get a counter kill, but he instantly denied. BM also going down to Banny, so this point cap just coming right back in. And I don't know about you, Sigafu, but I think the name of this game tonight is +2. Just these gamers coming in, getting those big med picks, crucial med picks every single time. Looks like Cascade's just not at all favorable on top of Nursey and Toy.
Yeah, it's not working out. Mad Rigby is getting himself into position. He's going to go for the decloak, but he gets hurt out there. But during that time, Rain bombs in! A huge carnage coming out! Nursey goes down, Space goes as well as Zilly, but it's going to be a 4v4 fight. Habib alone on the point. He's trying to get some miracle pipes. He does land one, but Toy down incredibly below. Bandy going in onto Toy, is able to land it with a pistol shot. Shay's still alive here. He's going to go down as well, and Froyotech will hold on to this. It was a nice play coming out of Prevail, but not enough to be able to hold on to this. Froyotech will take the lead once again here as they're looking to put this into a golden cap as Prevail currently leads by 1.
These soldiers doing so much work for both teams' side. You can see why they don't want to give this up. The huge open space of Cascade giving them so much ground to just jump on top and get what they want done. And Zilly cleaning up Mad on the sideline. Mad actually managing to kick off. Oh, just total carnage. Froyotech all dropping down. Habib over at 16 health, leading through the basement. Finally actually getting out, but Zilly jumping in, getting the cleanup on Yosh too. Just soldiers doing so much work too here, and you can see that Prevail just not willing to give up this aggression, walk forward together, just jump on top of them, and with your explosive classes getting as much work as they can done, you will just own the enemy team.
Yeah, nice job out of BM there as he came out from underneath, popped Nursey up, gave a little bit of flame, and then hit him with the flare, and that was able to get the kill there, and so that's going to give Toy nice advantage. Coming out, Pablo the furthest forward for his team. Yosh trying to open it up, but Shay's going to find Space Ghost early on here, so no heavy for this push out of Prevail. Mad Ringme gets a backstab onto Yosh, and Zilly goes down as well. Rain's going to bomb in onto Banny, gets a decent amount of damage into him, but Banny is able to clean him up. These overcharge might need to be used to defend these, keep these players alive forward here, as Froyotech is still trying to push forward. Banny is not giving this up, and he's still getting across point. How is Prevail going to react?
Well, hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll get to see them take an offensive Uber, but does not look like Prevail wants to actually come in on this. Furry was actually, even with that Uber disad, they're very happy to just start walking forward and take ground. Finally, the Uber coming out from Bowl and Toy, and Pablo coming in, but it might be too little too late. Nursey's backing all the way up, looking like she's ready to build her Uber, and sitting on that crits, coming out Habib, ready to get some frags. The Habib legend is not ringing false this time. Gets one frag, and then the rest of his team's coming in, cleaning up on that damage. Pablo coming in and trying to get whatever cleanup frags he can, but Habib and Banny The power duo coming right back in, cleaning up off the what looks to be a good Uber against the crits from the side of Prevail, just totally backfiring, and Froyo just coming right back in and cleaning everything up.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking good for Prevail, though. There are only 20 seconds left on the clock here. They basically need one capture, and they're going to be taking this map. I mean, when's the last time that you thought you'd hear that with Froytek's name aside to it? As Mad Ringme is getting himself into position, BM's underneath the point, Rain getting forward for his team, getting some capture time. Zilly bombing in onto Rain. Is going to just opt to back out here. 7v7 fight here right now as they're kind of just jostling for positions. Space Ghost underneath eating a lot of damage as Toy went down. I didn't even see that happen. Habib actually was able to do it. Bull jumping in onto Nursey. Gets it down pretty low, but no one's able to do it as Habib gets a nice air pipe onto Rain as Froytek holds on to this. 30 seconds left on the clock here. And it looks like they're going to continue to hold on, have 100% Uber, and this is looking like Froytek's round.
I don't really know what they were looking to do. I think it would have been a better idea if they decided to just sit back, build that Uber. When they attempted that push, when they attempted those bombs, they were sitting at, what, 50 seconds left on the clock for Froytek. They could have sat back, built an Uber slowly, but finally this crit's coming back out of it again. Habib looking to come back in, getting the nice sticky snipe over onto Pablo, looking like they don't want to give Prevail any opportunity to get any sort of ground. Just start laying those crit stickies everywhere, and Bull actually getting two huge frags onto Nursey and Yoso, looking like they might actually be able to come back in. Toy and Rain both jumping in, but no! Just do not have the health and do not have the cleanup to be able to come back in. 2-2 for you taking this last round. We're going to be able to see another mid-fight coming right back in from these two teams.
Yeah, and this is looking pretty interesting. That's what Ash on Engineer is really helping out his team in that late fight. So there's been a couple times where Prevail wants to get back on the point, but they can't really get ground because that mini sentry up there is just denying all the non-explosive classes from being able to do anything. So here we come up onto this third and final round of this map. 2-2 as it's tied up. Rain getting pushed out of that upper right area. Space Ghost going for a drop down, but he actually gets backstabbed as Zilly goes down as well. So a player advantage here for Prevail, and looks like they want to utilize as Banny goes down. Habib getting a nice frag though, and Bull's gonna get traded out as well. Here comes in Rain onto Nursey, gets a beautiful 2 rockets, and he wants more. He's onto Ash. Habib down incredibly low. It's actually me, Mad Ringme, who's chasing him, but Toy, the medic, secures the frag, but the mini sentry is gonna go up, and that's gonna be a little bit difficult here for BM to deal with as this mid fight is extended, going on, and no one has captured the point.
Both teams getting some respawns coming back in too. We can see Shay sitting on those battlements looking like he's got a slightly better angle, getting the counter snipe onto Yosh. So now with this huge sideline opened up for Prevail, they're looking like they're happy to just start walking forward. But Space Ghost is not looking to, he does not want to let them do that. And Banny starts walking forward too, trying to take some trades out, but Habib does go down. And Banny's starting to play forward. He does not like this, and Zilly goes in for a big bomb. Space Ghost on the side, trying to get as much damage as he can. Froyo actually repelling the gamers of Prevail, despite this incredibly scrappy fight. Bull and Pablo both looking to edge this cap as much as they can, but Banny and Yosh not having any of it, walking forward, just denying this cap time as much as possible. Toy, with that Uber, looking like he's going to have to concede and start backing all the way up.
Oh my goodness, that backstab on Bunny. I don't know if we caught that on camera, but that was a beautiful sidestab on Banny right there. It was so minor. The point goes in favor of Froytek, but that stab was beautiful. Anyways, here we come out here on this next midpoint. Rain's going to try to give himself some space. Habib going down low, but nice arrow there coming out from Nursey to be able to keep him alive. Bull trying to get forward, and actually Shay body shot on Habib, and that's going to open up here for Prevail as they push out onto this. They do have 100% Uber, but I'm guessing they don't want to use it, but they are going to do just that as Toy got pushed out there from Zilly. And so Nursey is going to have about a 20-30% advantage. Shay brings out a headshot onto Banny, dying back-to-back from the pit classes as Prevail holds on to this point, and they are going to be able to catch back up to Froytek in no time.
Yeah, and this Uber isn't exactly, this Uber ad isn't stellar from Nursey either. Just without any players nearby her who could build with her, she's been kind of slow on this, so now this Uber advantage is actually more like 10%. But we can see that Space Ghost actually starting to walk forward, and Zilly going in for another big bomb. Got a good rocket on Toy, but the last one's denied by BM, but undeterred, Froytek starts walking forward with their gamers. Nursey actually eating a huge rocket from Rain on the counter bomb, and BM coming on the underside, trying to get as much ground as possible. Pablo on the sidelines taking fights. Habib going down. Space Ghost doesn't look like he realizes quite what's happening, and Pablo actually gonna have to back up now and get some heal beams over from Toy, but they're gonna have to back up with no players with them. Shay actually sitting on that battlements actually does get the shot over on Space Ghost, so they're gonna be able to deny this cap from Froyo. Rain, Zilly coming in for a bomb on the side, looking like he wants to get on top of Toy, maybe force this Uber out, but there is no Uber to force. But this crits comes out. Any frags? Habib? No Habib. 2 frags in. Mad gets in a counter pick on the Habib, but it looks like they do actually manage to secure the cap over on that. But Prevail comes right back in. getting the counter cap, counter cap, you might even say. Banny coming right back in, getting on top of Toy. How will these shots connect? No, Banny's
Ash!
Air flare, and then Ash coming right back in, actually getting the, oh my god, Toy actually does get forced down. Bull denies this this mini sentry in tunnel, but oh dear.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild exchange between both these teams, really stepping up to the plate. They know that everything's on the line right now. This is the golden cap. The winner is going to be taking this map, and they are playing with everything on the line. Rain going underneath right now. Sabib pushing forward, trying to get some spam down onto the enemy combo, but doing a good job air blasting it flat. As Zilly jumping in. Here comes in Rain on the backside, gets a rocket onto Nursey. Mad Ringme, he's in position to be able to do something, but he is currently cloaked, and with 3 players down here for Prevail, they're going to opt to just back up as they lose another one. Pablo going down to Yosh. And so Toys is going to get back. He's going to get his Uber charge up here. They're already up by about 40-50 seconds. Mad's going all the way back. The big thing is taking down this teleporter is actually kind of important because it's allowing Furrytech to get those respawns in very quickly. So that's going to help out here with Prevail, as Banny does take down BM, who's disconnected from his team, and Prevail's actually very far back now, and Furrytech's doing a good job engaging them, doing a little bit of a pseudo-forward hold with their flank classes.
Yeah, but now we can see as Zilly's backing up, Prevail's looking comfortable taking some ground again, actually looking to take this Uber straight out of tunnel, leading on Bull as they Uber straight out, getting right on top of Nursey, but Nursey does not want to pop this. It is a crits. There is no way that crits would have saved her against those shiny people, so Nursey doing that +2 yet again, and 5 players down the side of Froyo, everyone getting cleaned up, Rain getting Yosh on the sidelines, Bull cleaning up Space Ghost, and now Ash looking like he wants to come in for a miracle play, but getting piped right as he falls down. Mini Sentry on the sidelines getting cleaned up easily by Bull. Easy push from the side of Prevail. Well, what do you say about that?
It's just a good play coming out of Prevail, doing what they needed to do in that situation as they're going to take the lead. This is exactly the position they want to be in. Currently ticking down the clock in the favor, going to be about a minute under here as Toy's sitting with about a 30-40% advantage. Furrytech's really going to need to step up big here to be able to make a play. They are going to take down Mad Ringme down for 18 seconds. That's how long these respawns are every time you die here on the defensive side. Rain right above Space Ghost, getting a lot of damage down onto him as Toy coming up to 90%, but Zilly wants to say something about that. BM doing a good job reflecting this, but here comes out the overcharge. Rain's going to bomb in as well, going in onto Nursey, doing a lot of damage. We'll be able to secure the flank. Space Ghost going down. It's just 2 players left alive. They're collapsing. Banny's still on the point. He's going for a miracle, but he's not going to be able to do it. It's a 4v1, and he gets annihilated there. And that's a wipe in the favor of Prevail. They're going to hold on to this. 30 seconds left on the clock. They have 20%. The teleporter's still up here for Furrytech, but they're going to need a miracle to come back into this.
Furrytech trying to play that miracle right as they come over on this far side of, and Habib getting that heals coming out, but it looks like they're kind of staggering their push a little bit. Facewood's kind of coming forward, but Bandy instantly goes down to a nice headshot by Shade. Habib's not having any help. Nursey going down to huge spam from Bull as he hits every pipe, every sticky, everyone going down. 1 player alive on the side of Furry. Yeah, trying to come in, Bandy getting that spawn, but they are way too far behind. Prevail 3-2 victory over Furrytech on Cascade. And just a high-energy cough fight this entire time. Sigafu, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I thought that Prevail could step up and overtake, this roster of Furrytech. Obviously, they're not playing with every single star that they're known to have. It's a little bit of an adjusted roster. But, I mean, they're still fantastic. They've done great all season. The last time these teams met on this very map, Furrytech won 4-1, but it was a very contested fight, and that's what every single fight coming down here today, each round could have gone one way or the other. Just one fight made the difference at the end of the day. I mean, these are just really, really contested things, and I'm very curious, Flair, as you're pulling up the logs here, what's jumping out to you?
Well, Shay was just absolutely popping off against Yosh, handily winning this sniper versus sniper as well. Coming out on Shay, getting 11 frags onto Yosh. Yosh only getting 5 in return, and Shay also had quite the help with Mad Ringme on Spy, also pressuring Yosh, so it just seemed like Furyo had no opportunity to make use of Yosh's phenomenal sniping abilities with him just constantly down, and Shay making use of that extra space, just going ham, 42 frags, sitting clean on the top of that frag count, tied with Rain for top fragging, and yeah, just looking like those clear sniper picks actually just winning them every single mid and every single important fight they needed.
Yeah, I'll be curious because we're going to be moving on to Coal Plant. That is the second map in this series. It's going to be match point here for Prevail. So they're going to have to go all the way to upward now Froyotech will if they're going to have a chance to go into the grand finals. Else they're going to get third place here. But I was kind of curious, like, it's like obviously Shay was stepping up big, but this is going to be a harder map for Shay to have such an impact on. But I was talking about it before. I'm kind of curious here if we look at the frag of Mad Ring Me. So Shay obviously winning the SVS very handily. But Shay also, Mad Ring Me killed Yosh 9 times. And that's one of those things that actually helps your SVS. Is like, that's the thing that people talk about is like, oh, Spy's underpowered, it's not useful. And like, yes, Spy can be that way. But if he's taking down, Sniper, which is arguably one of the most powerful classes in the game, and allowing Shay to step up even more so, it also makes it harder for Yosh to be able to handle SVSs because he can't just think about where's the other sniper position, where do I want to position myself. He has to think about like, where's the other sniper position, Spy. You can't allow your focus on one thing, and that kind of distracts you just enough, in these high-level, really competitive games for, the other sniper to come out on top. And so, but I'm very curious. Now we're coming to Coal Plant. It's not such a sniper-friendly map. Will it be able to do? But with the flank of Rain, had a really big game there. 42 frags, tying for his team. Zilly obviously did work with bombs onto the medic, but Rain was a little bit more consistent with his damage. I'm very curious to see, because I think this is really going to come down to the flanks, and it's going to be a little bit of Banny versus Rain, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to see a lot of scout and soldier action here on Coal Plant with these just wide open spaces and a lot of geometry for scouts to be able to just jump around and dance and dodge as much as they please. And as you mentioned, we're going to see the sniper impacts definitely take a hit on this map over here. So, but hopefully we'll be seeing just a lot of excellent flank play coming in. I'm interested in seeing if Mad decides to stick with that spy strategy because it worked out so well on Cascade. He's able to just get in and out, even if he wasn't getting frags. He only got 27 that game. He managed to just get in the head of Froyo that entire game, and they were not comfortable walking forward and taking ground as much as maybe they would have liked to be. And I'd like to see if Mad decides to keep up that pressure strat, or maybe he decides to go for something more out-and-out frag style.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what we're going to be doing, kind of seeing when it comes to that on this map. I mean, it's just so much more flank heavy. Also Habib, I feel like he was dying kind of at inopportune times. He had 27 deaths that game, which is, I feel like, a lot more. Habib, I feel like when he's at his best, I mean, it's kind of obvious to say, but like he's kind of a demo man that does a good job at keeping himself alive. To be able to kind of curate forward ground for his team. But with Nursey dying 24 times compared to Toy's 17, I think that's one of the reasons that Habib had a bad game in that last round, not being able to kind of work off of those heals, which I think, Nursey's so damn good at using arrows and keeping his players alive. And so I'm very curious to see, what's going to be happening there. If Nursey's going to be able to keep herself alive, and if Habib's going to be able to have a little bit of a better round here. But I'm just kind of curious, what these teams are talking about. They're going to kind of keeping cool heads. I mean, this is Froyotech you're talking about. This is Banny. I mean, as much as he's an intense gamer, I think he also is, really good at keeping focus. And I'm kind of curious what he's talking about with his team in this downtime.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing if Ash pulls out that engineer as well. I'm not sure if I'd say there's a lot of interesting class options. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing a heavy still run on the side of Space Ghost, because with these large wide angles here, you can definitely sneak a heavy up and into an unsuspecting position around a fence, around some cover or something, and then just annihilate the enemies when they don't realize you're there. And there's also a lot of under areas to pass through. It's very similar to Cascade in that respect. There's a little less space to jump around as soldiers, so we're going to see a lot more scout impact. But we're definitely going to be seeing Froyotech come in maybe with a slightly different plan, maybe deciding to run a bit more heavy on those picks. We can see in this pregame, Nursey's actually sitting on Spy, but Nursey's going to be that medic. So I'd be interested in seeing if Banny, if you remember that Borneo game they played against Cat Noises early in the game, Banny actually did swap over to Flog Pyro at one point. And I'd like to see if Banny decides to pull out some kind of wacky strat to definitely see if he can get on the nerves of Prevail, see if he can just catch them by surprise, because it looks like Prevail's getting the edge over Froyotech every single time in terms of X Factor plays, and Froyo's trying to pull out a consistent, reliable performance, but they keep getting caught out every single time by these big plays from Rain, from Bull, from Mad, and they're just enabling Shay. So as we're coming into this next fight here on Coal Plant, Froyotech versus Prevail, round 2, 3-2 on the first side of Ash, on the first map of Cascade. Take it away, Sigafu.
And we'll see what we're going to get started up here. Froytech starting out on blue. Prevail on the red side. Bull very early out here. He actually has it up on the shutter, but it actually doesn't get too much damage off onto Banny, who ran straight through it, as well as Habib. Mad Ringme still on that spy class. We'll see what he's going to be able to do with this. I feel like this is going to be a little bit more of a spy-friendly map.
Wait a second, Yosh is AFK.
Oh, yeah, I don't think realize that. It has, yeah, Yoshi's AFK. Mad Ringme takes down Zilly. Ash goes down as well. A lot of frags going in favor here of Froytech. Or sorry, Prevail. I'm getting confused there. As yeah, Yoshi's still sitting back in spawn, and looks like you got a pause coming in here. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like Froytech, as much as they don't do well. Here comes Mad Ringme on to the Nursey. Nursey's actually, I think, got an Uber saw off in that circumstance, or at least was able to get the frag. And Froytech, they just turned around. As soon as they killed Mad Ringme, they turned their heads right around and go back in. Zilly though goes down early on here. Bull using the recharge. Now Nursey's going to be able to respond in kind. Toy, though, down only to 44 HP. DM's going to get left out there to die as Habib beating the skybox, falling back down. He's actually going to fall, die to the fall damage. And so not having Habib here, I'm kind of wondering if we're going to see Prevail try to work in off of that.
And Zilly taking ground on that roof as well. Now we can see players just backing up, playing on this gravel area. And, you know, Froytech lost some players on that push, but it looks like they managed to scare the bejesus out of Prevail, who backed up immediately. But now Prevail looking like they regained some of their nerve. Start walking forward with Bull and Pablo. Pablo trying to edge some of that cap time, and Bull trading out sticky spam with Habib, and both of them kind of sitting in front of that point, looking to see what damage they can do. Shay's actually sitting all the way back there, just getting 3 headshots. Yosh not quite back in the game yet either, so if they just play around Shay, they'll be good a lot more. Shay coming through this shutter, looking like he wants to get as much damage as he can, but Habib, even though he's taking damage, he's not quite going down. Nursey does actually go down to a front step from Mad, so with this, oh, Toys also went down to a huge flank play from Ash. He just walks across and managed to get that pick, so even though some huge plays coming on the side of Prevail, you know, they didn't quite secure that cap instantly, but here they are, and Zilly's walking forward, managed to pick off Shay, and as they cap this point, Shay's gonna have a bit of a longer respawn time.
Yeah, it is gonna be just that much longer here as Yosh is back in the game finally here. As, oh, nice job. Oh no! Oh, Toy dies. Zilly popped Toy up into the air. BM was able to reflect that rocket coming in, but Toy's gonna fall down to fall damage. And so here we go, Mad Ringme going in onto Ash. Rain gonna go for a bomb in onto Nursey. Nursey goes down! No wait, Nursey going down half HP. I got debated right there as I saw Rain's giblets flying around thinking it was Nursey's. And here we go, Shay gonna get taken out here by Zilly bombing in. And let's give a nice sniper advantage here for Froytech.
And they look like they really want to play with this. Positioning Yosh up, looking over their roof, looking like they want to pressure the enemy team's battlements so that they don't get as much space down as they'd like to. But Bull is still walking forward, just hitting sticky spam over that fence, actually destroying that gun. And Space Ghost just sitting on top of that dispenser, getting as much spam as he can, but looking like Bull and Pablo both walking forward. But Habib just picked off Pablo, and Rain goes in, manages to force the Uber from Nursey, and they're trading out so much damage with 3 players down the side of Prevail, and Zilly and Banny, both running forward on those huge picks, picking out Shay and Toy. So despite that huge force coming out from Prevail, they're not able to capitalize off it as they drop Toy in the back lines, and now Froytech managing to establish yet another solid hold here.
Yeah, this is just, you know, you got to be careful. If you're going to go in for a suicide wave onto the enemy medic and, you know, use everybody, you better get your medic very careful. It's Mad. Oh my goodness, Mad actually gets the frag onto Nursey. I was kind of watching that out of my corner of my eye, thinking that, oh, there's no way that a spy is going to kill a medic around 4 people, but he's able to secure that frag. And so what looked to be, you know, disaster for Prevail, Habib goes down, going in for a bomb in onto Toy. And so they might be able to do something with this. Currently, Prevail is about a 6v6 fight. Bull is pretty low in terms of HP. This is also where having an engineer, but this is a good map for Engineer. Ash is doing a pretty good job. Toy, is he going to die to fall damage again? No, he's going to live with 5 HP as Zilly bombed in. Ash actually is going behind. I don't think he's been spotted yet. Toy's only at 5 HP. He just needs a little bit, a touch, and he gets it. He gets pushed into the air. He's able to see over top of the rafters, and he gets the frag onto the medic. But no, either way, Prevail will be able to take this point. Nursey, 36%, but Pablo going in onto Nursey, and Yosh trying to get it, but Nursey looks like she will be able to survive this. What? No! She goes down, surrounded by her teammates. What is going on in this game?
Neither team willing to let up pressure on these enemy medics, looking like they want to keep the name of the game to be +2. And Space Ghost coming right back in, but Mad's on the hunt for a stab. No, he gets spotted out. He gets forced back, and Habib walking forward again with the team, looking like they want to reestablish a play and a hold over on this ramp here. You know, interesting. While Furutech were all chasing Toy in that backline there, Prevail actually just walked right back in and killed 3 or 4 people and got on that point. And now we can see Pablo's coming right back in, looking like he wants to pressure this point as much as possible. But Space Ghost very aggressive here, just getting so many kills. But Bull and Mad getting so much pressure and rain jumping in, distracting these players long enough for Bull to walk right forward. But Banny cleaning Bull up on the back. Toy and Pablo both capping this out as Toy is so hurt, having to jump all the way back. Zilly getting 2 big rockets over here. And oh my gosh, Brandy walking forward, getting those picks over onto Toy, and Pablo now looking like he has to walk back in. But overtime was hit, and Furutech just walks right back in, gets the cap. Even with a handicap of a missing sniper for missing a minute and a half, they managed to secure this first round.
I was talking about what's going to happen when Prevail can't rely on Shay to be able to make plays. Shay currently bottom fragging with Pablo inside of that first round, so it's going to be other players that need to step up here for Prevail in these next round. We'll see what they can do. Zilly gets a nice early frag onto Pablo as Rain's going back behind enemy lines. He's actually probably going to get taken out here. BM also onto Engineer now, seeing the success out of Bastion, is going to try to copy that using that mini sentry with the Wrangler inside of that shutter area. So we'll see if that works out for them as Shay's going to go down. Nice bomb in from Zilly. It's a 4v4 or 5v5 fight, but it's Froyotech with the positioning, and it looks like they're going to come down with this midpoint.
I wonder if some... Oh, Mad going big stabs on Zilly, getting cleaned up finally by Ash's mini sentry, and Space Ghost walking forward. This cap, it hasn't quite been reached yet. Nursey finally getting that Uber, and Toy not too far behind at 85%. Banny walking forward, actually getting the cap now, but here comes Rain with a big bomb right on top of Nursey. Nursey forces, and Prevail's all just going to retreat, kite out as much of this Uber as they can. Bull walking underneath his bats, and this Uber looking like it's just going to get completely wasted as it gets forced out by Nursey. And now with Toy at 93%, will they just sit back here and build it up? Looks like yes, they will. Bull, no, Zilly jumping in, going for a huge bomb, but he gets denied, and Banny actually walking forward does get the pick off on Banny, on BM, but now with this Uber on the side of Toy, do they want to hold on to and wait for more people to push, or do they just want to start pressuring immediately, looking like Bull's actually walking forward with this Uber, Toy a little behind that, and getting a lot of spam, this Uber ready to pressure out, but they do not want to take this fight. Bull actually getting that Uber popped in on him as they start trying to push through Shutter. Bull getting on top of Nursey, trying to take this fight, but he's not hitting any pipes. Does get cleaned up. Nursey not actually taking any damage over here. And so Toy backing up with only 10% Uber all the way back. They finally get this cap, but Nursey's got 40% Uber ad coming right back in with her Habib right on top of this point.
Yeah, Mad Ringme's getting himself into position right behind Nursey. He's coming up at 70%. Here comes in Rain with the distraction bomb, but here comes Mad Ringme. He's getting for the run-up. Does get the sniper down, so it's going to give the advantage here to Shay right now. As 2 players currently down here for Froyotech. Here comes the bomb in. Zilly going to be able to take down Shay, though. Zilly, it's just been a hunter on the pick classes, doing a good job here. Mad Ringme is sitting next to the teleporter. He's going to go, but as I say that, Rain bombs in, takes down Nursey, and that's a +2. Toy holding on to 43%. Habib going way deep. Toy going down to 16 HP, but will be able to survive with his life as nobody else was there to clean up that damage. But Froyotech hold on to the point. They have the time advantage. But with the players coming back up, Shay once again going down. Shay has not been able to keep his life this game. But we'll see how Prevail wants to push with this. 70%, and Bull has his head taken off there early on in this fight.
I have to wonder if Furutech's strategy that they discussed coming in was just to start pressuring Shay as much as possible, because we can see Zilly's actually getting on top of Shay almost every single life this time. Shay bottom fragging on the side of his team, Habib just not getting quite as much impact as he had. He did not have that dominating performance like he did over in Cascade. So now Furutech backing up as Pablo and Toy taking Uber in over here. Space was trying to get this dispenser armor, but finally the dispenser goes down, and Space Ghost coming right down on the back end of that. So Bull and Pablo both getting this cap time, looking like a clean Uber push coming in.
Nice job out of Mad Ringme getting a stab on Nursey on the backside of that fight as everybody was looking forward. Mad Ringme, it's exactly what you want to use. Use that distraction to get the frags. The teleporter is still up here, so Space Ghost getting to that front lines very quickly. Having the teleport, especially when you don't control the point, not only do you get the fast respawns, but you're also saving yourself a 5 to 10 second walk, and you can re-engage very, very quickly. You can see Froyotech is already doing that. Banny is taking a 1v1 against Rain that he loses. Actually, that's a 5v5 fight right now. Shay is down, so Yoshi is able to peek a little bit more aggressively than he normally would be able to. The Wrangler is trying to push him back right now out of that shutter area, and that's kind of stopping anybody from taking forward ground right now as Bull is disconnected from his team. Easily gets cleaned up there. Rain, though, onto the enemy combo. Nursey down to, what is that, 13 HP, but she will be able to survive. Pablo, though, knows it's so low, tries to go in for the frag, but Pablo's not even going to get close as the Froyotech bannermen are there to protect their medic, and they are surely going to take back this point now with their position.
Bad's in position. He goes for a decloak, getting right on top of Nursey, trying to go for the revolver, but does not get those shots. Nursey holding on to that Uber 90% as Banny reinitiates a cap over here. Bull's coming out from Battlements, trying to get as much pressure as he can, but Habib, looking like Habib lagged out, just walked right into the fence and gets cleaned up instantly. But finally, this Uber getting traded out from Nursey, and they're coming back in. For, looking like Toys does not want to get dropped down on the back here, and they back up, but they finally just start reasserting their dominance as Bull getting tanked over on the front lines here. Mad crossing this point, and looking like Bull's trying to take a fight with Space Ghost. Pablo coming in, doing as much damage as he can on top of Space Ghost, but Mad comes in for the stab, gets the stab on Space Ghost, going right back in for another cloak. Habib back in this fight, looking like whatever problem he had, no longer an issue, but Bull does manage to get this cap. Habib coming right back in, getting the pick off of Bull, and starting to walk forward. Banny taking as much ground as he can. Habib getting a huge jump and or getting popped up into the air. I'm not sure which one it is, but he gets big damage over, and Banny trying to clean up the frag over on Pablo over here, but Pablo does manage to get the return frag on Banny as Habib gets some revenge for his ally, cleaning up Pablo, and the cap picked up as well.
Yeah, I just want to point out right now, I mean, both snipers are bottom pointing inside of this game, neither really being a factor here. I kind of been wondering at what point do you maybe consider even not running a sniper to just give a little bit more to your team. Obviously can get some big picks, but we'll see what they can do. Med is right behind Froytek's combo, but I think Banny spotted him out. Prevail is an even player fight as Med's getting himself into position. That mini sentry is in that corner. Bull trying to get forward, but Banny's going straight down to Bull. So much damage. Zilly bombing in. A great coordination play coming out from Froytek, coming from either side. And surely they're going to hold on to this point as they are going to come down with their second round in the second map.
Yeah, looking like they're going to have a much more dominant performance here on Coal Plant, as it is 2-0 coming into match point here. And yeah, looking like just without the sniper presence from Shay, Froyo just feel a lot more confident to start walking forward and get as many frags as they can. And even though Mad Ringme is getting a huge pressure onto their combo, getting big picks when he needs to, and still, you know, handling third top points on his team, they're just not able to enable Shay quite as much. And now this next mid-fight coming out, Pablo getting the early pick on Azili, who went in for a bomb, but Nursey sitting back on bats. Yosh getting a nice headshot over on Shay. Looking like Yosh now establishing his dominance over here, also getting that pick on Bowl earlier, but Yosh finally goes down. Pablo sitting on that backlines on Froyo's battlements, taking a fight with Banny as a scout versus scout comes in, but Pablo decided to change targets, coming in and trying to take Nursey down, but Banny avenging his nice ally, not avenging, but keeping Nursey safe. And now this mid-fight going to go convincingly to Froyotech.
Yeah, it seems that way. BM also on Engineer. He will take down Banny, as I think he was about to taunt there right before Habib was able to get that sticky underneath of his feet. And Nursey currently sitting up at that 100%. The thing to remember that Prevail did win that first map, so regardless if Froytek wins here, it will be going into an overtime round. Here comes in Rain, gets a nice bomb on Nursey. Like clockwork, takes the medic force, and that's going to give Toy a nice advantage here, but they have to be careful. This is where they've been kind of struggling here with the pushes, with these uber advantages. They're just baiting out the point right now. Look at all this free cap time Froytek is giving them, and they're going to drop players, though. Pablo's going to go through here. Bull's disconnected from his team. Space Ghost eating a lot of the damage. He's trying to melee Space Ghost down, but ends up doing nothing, and they don't even capture the point. What a just Prevail. Maybe getting a little bit too cute. Maybe just baiting it out, trying to milk out their situation just a little bit too much, and ultimately it works against them as Froytek didn't even lose the point.
Yeah, it seemed like they were just all approaching from the exact same angle, allowing Space Ghost to not feel pressured at all from his roof, or Mad coming in from backstab, but finally they do actually start losing out this point, but no players dropped on the side of Froytek. Well, they decide to just come right back in. Habib's placing some stickies, and it does not... Oh, there's a level 3 in Shutter now, as BM attempting to use that Wrangler to his advantage. Habib walking forward over on this point, undeterred by that sentry over in Shutter, as the Shutter's now closed. Mad actually going down. Looks like Mad's back on heavy now. No spy on the side of Prevail, no X Factor over there. Habib walking forward with his team, getting that cap. Clean, simple, efficient, and that sentry turns out to be a total non-issue.
Zilla did a nice job taking down BM. Rain once again getting a force out onto Nursey, so Toy will have the advantage. Again, BM back up onto Pyro using the Flog. I feel like Engineer is a good idea here, but I just don't feel like BM is playing it very well. Maybe one of the other classes could switch it up to try to maybe get a little bit more use out of it, but here we go. Prevail getting a lot of free cap time, waiting for Froytek to try to do anything. Ash and Banny going for a flank play, but they've been spotted out. The point goes in the favor of Prevail right now. They do pop the overcharge, but not really for any use, and they're going to drop Bull as well. Banny's going to go down. Ash is still underneath it here in Freytech. They're just going to start pushing right back out onto the point, but the medic goes down. Shay with a nice headshot, and they might be able to re-engage on this. It's just Habib as well as Space goes onto the point, but those are some beefy boys, and they're going to need something special to defend against it. It's going to be Rain coming in here. He's going to take down one, but it's going to be the mini sentry taking down Rain himself. And so Freytech, they are going to come back, take this point. Only a minute left on the clock for them to take this map.
Prevail looks like they've just been trying to butt their heads into these pushes, but it won't work. You need to collapse on top of Protech sitting on that ramp from all sides. Get a soldier jumping in, get a scout flanking on top of that roof too, but they're just walking forward directly on top of the point, and it's just getting them cleaned up every single time. As Bull gets cleaned up by a sticky trap over on the shutter, and Habib, I heard that laugh come out, but that's just an automated line, as BM comes in with the jump, trying to get the cleanup, but he does get cleaned up by Space Ghost, and Zilly's not happy, sitting over on his team's flank, not sure what he can accomplish as this timer continues to tick down. 40 seconds, and Banny very, very confident, jumping on this roof, challenging that space, and Yosh getting that pick off over in Rain again with one player down the side of Prevail as they need to take this push in. 90% coming in. Looks like they want to start taking a push, but they cannot just butt their heads forward, as it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do again. Just bring every single person over through the front line. Mad getting that Uber in, Bull trying to jump in, but he's not actually able to get any big kills as they're all backing up. Space Ghost just kiting that Uber, and Nursey's looking like she just wants to take a counter Uber over here. Prevail again taking that, walking forward, no strategy involved, trying to jump in on top of that, but it looks like Nursey's not even needing to use that Uber. Space Ghost does actually just sit back here and hold on to this point with no pressure whatsoever. Oh gosh. Oh, what a sorry end for Coal Plant for Asheville here.
As a disappointing end, but it's going to be happy for Freytech. I mean, obviously they're going to be ecstatic about taking it 3-0 in straight rounds, but we still have one more map to go. That's not it, ladies and gentlemen. We are on to the overtime round, the golden map, whatever you want to call it. We are going to be going there. We're going to be seeing what they can do as we get tied up to upward here. But yeah, just like Freytech, I mean, I feel like it was like just the Banny show. He was just doing so much work there on this final round. But let me talk to the teams, let them know what's going on here. And why don't you talk a little bit, Flair, about what's going to be happening or what you see in the log.
Yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble pulling these logs up. Just 2 seconds. Oh gosh, my voice is absolutely going. But finally, I've got these logs pulled up. We can see Yosh actually coming back in on this Coal Plant sniper versus sniper, finally getting those frags he's looking for. 22-6 on a kill death ratio, and Batty coming out with 28 frags. Very happy to just walk in and get all these frags. And it looks to me like the players on the side of Prevail, they're just beating. I don't think there's any nice way to put it. No one except for Pablo on the side of Prevail with a positive kill death ratio. Mad swapping off of his beloved spy over to Heavy near the end on 14-17. Shay on the sniper 13-19. No one's getting those picks they need. Bull's getting cleaned up 9-13, and Rain, even with those huge bombs and huge forces onto Nursey, they're just not getting those kills they need. They're dropping players left and right even when they had the Uber to save them, and it just seems like a lack of coordination, maybe a lack of a plan coming in. Prevail's missing something, and they'll need to figure it out coming into a stopwatch map, especially for this final map.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to see what they can do. I mean, the big thing is that this map is much more friendly to snipers, so I think Shay's going to be able to kind of get back into the swing of things in this final round, and also it's a little bit harder to get onto it. I mean, I think, Banny and Zilly were doing such a good job. Banny had the most frags on any sniper in the game. Banny killed Shay 7 times, which is how many deaths did Shay have in total? So that was, Banny accounted for about 1/3 of Shay's deaths. Zilly accounted for another 1/3 of Shay's death, and then Yosh killed Shay about another 1/3. That's basically it right there. I mean, they really, really focused down hard onto Shay, but it was the flank classes, not as much as Yosh. And I mean, that's kind of what you expect, the job out of like Mad Ring Me to be able to do that. But Mad in that game, he only got one frag total onto Yosh, and I think that was coming down onto Yosh playing more with the combo. Yosh was playing a little, and that's a little bit harder to get a decloak stab down, whereas on Cascade, you have a little bit more drop downs, a little bit easier to get to a sniper very quickly without anybody seeing you. And so Shay had 3 frags onto Yosh. Yosh had 6. So, it was the inverse. Last round we saw Shade be dominant in the SVS, almost 2-1. Now it's Yosh being dominant in the SVS 2-1. But again, I think that comes down to when you're playing sniper and you have not just the enemy sniper but flank or spies or whatever who's getting on you constantly, it doesn't allow you to get into a rhythm. It doesn't allow you to focus on where the enemy sniper is and what do I need to position. And so I'm very curious to see how Shay's going to be able to adjust with that. But besides that, it seems like, yeah, just, big Banny game. And I'm kind of curious to see what Banny's going to be able to do on this upward map.
Yeah, if I don't know if you recall, I think it was definitely an upward game we were casting, but we were talking about how scouts, we weren't expecting the scouts to perform particularly well on upward just with the way the map is laid out, but Sandblast showed us on that map and he just took control of the game both on offense and defense. And I'm wondering if Banny can pull the same off here on upward with, best TF2 player in the world moniker, and if he sits over here on upward, just gets those frags necessary. I'm definitely looking to see if he can pull out some big time plays over here. And with him taking ground on the flank and getting those cleanup kills, I think he could definitely enable Yosh here on upward, a very sniper friendly map. These big sight lines that lock down entire sections of the map on when you're playing on defense, and you need to get that sniper down every single time. So, I'm expecting good things for Froyotech, but Prevail, what do you think they're going to be able to do if they want to clinch out this win here on upward?
I mean, really Prevail, I mean, I kind of hit on it a little bit already. I mean, we're going to see Mad Rigme need to step up a little bit more. I think the spy play, it's one of those ones where it's like if he's able to take down Yosh or Nursey, then he's doing his job. If he's not able to do that, he needs to switch off a spy. They really need to work in Shay better. They need to protect Shay better more than anything else. So if you need to sit with a sentry gun next to your sniper nonstop and like you just do that to keep Shay alive, then that's what you need to do. Like, sniper is that important of the class to be able to work with it. But we can see here Froyotech starting out on defense. It looks like going to be running in engineer heavy for their flex classes. So no spy or pyro. So they're going full out engineer defense here, which is, engineer defense on the first point always pretty good, especially for that teleporter.
Yeah, definitely. With that teleporter over, because those spawns pretty far back here on upward when you're holding on first, so you definitely need that teleport to bring players forward. And likewise, when it goes down, you might see a spy play coming out from Mad here. If he is on spy, so he might just run all the way back, get that teleporter down immediately. Definitely have to look out for if he does that, because if he does, then he's going to be able to just cripple this first defense. Any players that go down, they're going to have a long way to travel in order to get back on his first defense. And we can see Crit Sticky set up all the way over here. Yosh, where is Yosh playing? I do not see him. All the way back. He's not in position quite yet. Actually, incredibly passive, trying to jump on a rock all the way back. What is this sightline? This is a Yosh special or something over here.
Well, it actually does take down any players who are trying to push on that far flank side. Also makes it so you're not taking a sniper SBS to start out the game. It kind of so you can see BM here. As soon as he crosses, he has a possibility to get taken down there by Yosh, but I think he might have been spotted out. Here comes in Bull using the base jumper, and he's going to take down that sentry gun and gets a lot of damage. And Nursey, they stopped looking. Nursey drops right there. Everybody was turned around looking at Bull, and BM just ran straight in, flames down the medic, and this is great for them. The card is in position. Toy with 100% ready to go. And Prevail, we asked what do they need to do, and they need to step up and make big plays, and they do just that here on the first point.
And they're going to have to come back in and start taking out this Telly and this gun. Telly actually starts getting sapped on cue as Mad gets all the way back to their spawn and saps that down. So now, on top of taking the fight, oh no, Yosh drops Toy from that big sideline angle. I was talking smack about it, but Yosh, brother, you may have just saved the shot, going for another big headshot over on Pablo, cleaning up this first point. Everyone's now up on the side of Froyo. Shay trying to take the sniper versus sniper, but after big shots like that, Yosh got to be feeling really good now. They're just walking forward very confidently on top of these tracks here, taking this huge angle, looking like he wants to just absolutely deny any space over to Prevail.
Absolutely insane. Mad does take down the teleporter, so every frag that goes in the favor of Prevail is going to make it that much harder for Froyotech to get their players forward. BM, very aggressive alone, does tap the cart to stop it from rolling backwards. Actually, Banny eats a flare there, might die from the afterburn. Will be able to keep his life, as we saw Rain jump in onto the medic, but the sentry gun is going to be able to keep Nursey alive here, sitting at 100%. She has Bull above on Playground, disconnected Prevail's pick here. Here comes in BM. He gets Nursey down to 13 HP and does get the force off on Nursey. Toy all the way back in spawn, but what? Wait, did Toy died? No, Toy lived. Okay, I was very confused there because I saw him jump and I was... Anyways, Toy's alive, 40% advantage. This is what they need to work off with, but they need to get the picks. They need to get the pressure on here. Need to take down Sentry Gun and get the players down. and we'll see what they can do with this next push. Yosh is dead. Huge pick for Prevail.
And they're looking like they're very happy to start walking off on this. Bull and Pablo and BM all over on the tracks, but Bull jumping all the way behind, looking like he wants to cut off this retreat, but Ash just picks him off easily as that gun does go down, but they just walk over and point cap this. 2 minutes 30 seconds on this first point as Habib playing a little too far forward, getting headshot by Shay over on the side, and jumping in on Nursey. Nursey actually really low, getting front stab. Does Nursey go down? Yes, the shot comes out from Mad, and Nursey does go down here. Toy sitting on a full Uber charge advantage now. The spawn's not quite up on the side of Prevail yet, but Toy is going to feel very happy here. Bandy coming in trying to get anything he can done, but he does get cleaned up by Rain. And now Bull and Toy just walking up on the side here, looking like they just want to walk in, but Space Ghost waiting for a big flank play here in the tunnel, looking like he wants to clean up this cart pressure while Prevail's Uber goes in for another side. Pablo actually does win that heavy versus scout fight though, so Space Ghost looking for that big flank, does not get it, and now Zilly coming in for a huge bomb, does not quite get the pressure he looks for too either. Cleaned up by Bull and Toy looking like they just want to take this Uber right in right now.
Well, they got to be careful. I mean, they're taking this in. The problem is the cart's not being pushed up. The Sentry gun does get pulled back, so it's not going to go down. Nursey might get caught in here. Nice job out of Pablo. 2 shots and takes down Nursey, and they're going to be able to hold this forward ground. So, you know, that's the thing is I was a little bit concerned about them pushing that Uber so early on, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to lock down this spawn. No one's going to be able to get out of it. They're going to have to wait to do a back spawn. But the level 3 sync gun is up on the back lines here on the 3rd point already. So that's going to at least give a chance for Froyotech to get a little bit set up here. But Toy still has a slight advantage, though probably isn't going to be able to use it because this 3rd point is a very long one. It's a hard one to push given all the pushbacks or all the downslopes on this ramp.
Zilly's actually behind the entire team of Prevail as he's sitting in the house, finally getting challenged by Rain. Looking like they actually, Rain finally cleans it up. I was looking for a big play from Zilly over because Toy is not playing in a safe position, but they do look like they want to come in with this. Even Uber's on the side of both teams, and Banny actually making that same flank play, coming over in the back here in the house, looking like he wants to get on top of Toy, but he maybe thinks better of it. He's sitting over in that catwalk, and Space Ghost playing aggressive as he can, but Shay picks off Yosh. Pablo picks off Banny. 2 big picks on the side of Froyo as they're going down, and there's no sentry gun in a good position to deny this, as it's just going to get hard scoped by Shay all the way back on the coaster, and the gun goes down. Does Froyo have the balls to sit over here and start defending this? Toy actually sitting with his Uber. Nursey did go down earlier, I'm not sure to what, but Toy with this Uber looking like Froyo's not happy. They do not want to hold this in, so they just start backing up all the way back to 4th, play in tiles.
This is looking great for Prevail right now. I'm kind of curious what this time's going to be. I got to imagine it's going to be under 5 minutes for the first 3 points. 4:56, so just barely under 5 minutes. It's not a crazy fast time unless you're able to push this in the next minute, but it's still a very solid time, especially up against such a great team as Froyotech. And so you see Froyotech getting set up here. They have a teleporter up onto this upper spawn, but Nursey is opting to hold on their own balcony, which I think is a little bit interesting. I guess they know the Uber is going to be coming in here. They want to bait out this Uber charge, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Bull uses this, but he's going to find a frag on a Space Ghost, and he realizes nobody else is there. And so a little bit of a clever positioning out of Froyotech to be able to do this. The gun's going to get taken out there as Habib's contesting inside of main, gets a nice shot onto Rain. Toy down to half HP, but the big thing is Prevail does control tiles, but for how long? Bull! Habib coming in! Takes down BM as well as Toy at the same time, same pipe. They all get killed with it. And so that's going to give Nursey a sizable advantage, and looks like they're going to try to go back into tiles now.
Yeah, these big aggressive plays coming out from Froyo right off a big bait play, letting Prevail Uber straight up into tiles, lets them just waltz right back in. They do have to spend an Uber for it, but I mean, you get the superior positioning, and with only 20, maybe 30% Uber on the side of Uber ad on the side of Toy, you know, I think that's a trade Protech's definitely going to be willing to take as they regain the superior position. You get big frags, big cleanup kills, and reassert their dominance over this last point. Bull and Shay both trying to get some ground here on under. Shay trying to get this under sideline over onto that top right. Looking onto Banny, not quite getting a shot as he gets pressured out, but Bull actually taking a fight here again. Space Ghost does win that. It's just placing pipes upper. Gets challenged by Banny. Bull going down. Banny reasserting his dominance over here. Shay looking at the staircase. Maybe he wants to walk up, get a cheeky shot onto Yosh as he sees Yosh, misses the shot. Yosh going all the way back onto those crates, finally getting picked out by Shay, and there's another pause coming in.
I guess he's building a dispenser as the unpause does come in here, but Banny takes down Toy with the 2 shots, and they're just going to clean up everybody there.
Yeah, 3 big frags coming off both Protech as they reassert control over this upper area. I thought they might be able to, Prevail might be able to just waltz in and take control with the players down inside of Protech, but it looks like with smart plays, Habib and Banny both pincering from either side, managing to clean up 3 players at a time and just absolutely stumps the pressure that Prevail was looking to come in. When Zilly coming in, getting another frag over on Toy. Toy not catching any breaks at all. Rain trying to come back and get another return kill on Zilly, but Zilly does get out, and Bull does go down as well to Ash, and looking like Prevail, in lieu of taking ground, they just want to get cap time, so they jump on the cart, do start falling to it, and BM's just sitting alone over in forward tiles. You know, little lonely over there, and he's finally getting caught out by Habib as they get pushed back, and 3 players, he's not going to win that one. Protech regains control of high ground.
And Nursey, though, ate a lot of damage there. And yeah, Nursey gets taken out. Shay gets a body shot onto Nursey. Nursey went to go get the med pack because of BM's play. And so BM set up that pick onto Nursey. 40% advantage here for Toy. They're going to start to push up. There's a sticky trap on the other side. You can see Habib's alone inside of tiles, waiting for anybody to push into him as Banny's going for a flank play. Rain's going to spot the trap. I'm not really sure as Prevail is looking to figure out how they want to push into this. Nursey coming back up. Here comes the Mad Ringme. Diggy cloaks on to Space Ghost. Gets the frag. Saps the Cinch Gun. The cart is rolling backwards. He should get a touch onto that. He's going to do just that. It looks like Prevail's going to start working their way in.
Yeah, and finally with some 3 picks for Prevail over on the side of Froyotech, and now they're coming in trying to take as much ground as possible. Toy and Bull just jumping in, but Toy misses the bunny hop, but Bull's very happy either way. He's just getting spawn camp over here, but he's getting blocked by the Dispenser trying to jump in. Gonna have to take it down, and a bit of the super is wasted as Toy tries to back out, but Bull's in a strange position. He's getting cleaned up by Banny on the bottom side. Bull does finally go down, but there are still 3 players dead on the side of Mad. Gets 2 big stabs over on Battlements, and Banny going down, Ash going down on Pyro on the side, and this cap does finally get in the favor of Prevail. 8 minutes, 40 seconds. You know, not fast, not terribly slow, definitely doable for Froyo.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice defense coming out of Froyo. It's exactly what they needed to have a chance inside of this first round. You know, the big thing out of Prevail is they kind of got, I mean, I think the thing is it was a really nice job out of Froyotech, baiting the position, you know, keeping Nursey in their own spawn to get the Uber charge coming out from Bull early on there. It's one of those ones, too, where I guess they used it early just to, you know, just in case Habib had any sticky traps down, but it's kind of unfortunate that Mad Ringme wasn't able to get, you know, you have a spy, but he's not able to get intel to be like, yo, dog, it's, you know, just Space Ghost up here. Like, you guys don't need to use your Uber charge. And so it's kind of curious to see what they can do. But that final point is always a tough one. I think also the other thing is that Prevail did a good job working the objective, you know, working the cart into position, so when they had a good push, they could just capture it. Whereas I feel like they were ignoring the objective a little bit too much on the other points. And I think that probably lost them maybe about a minute of time because they were kind of going for fights at times rather than focusing the objective. And that's kind of one of the downsides of running a spy is you can't have a flex class. But I'm done talking. The gates are down. Flair, why don't you start us off here as Froyotech starts on offense?
Finally, I was looking to see if Shay was going to copy Yoshi's strat, but nope, he's just taking a standard sniper position over here. Zilly going for a huge bomb, looking to pressure Shay back, but Shay is not on Playground. Pablo just denies him. Pablo on that heavy, and Shay finally taking ground here on Playground, but Banny coming in, looking like he wants to pressure Shay. Gets a shot off on Shay, but that gun is there to protect him. Like, just as you said, they're all sitting on top of Shay, looking to rely on his sniping ability to protect this, and you can see Habib coming out on this path. He's looking to start getting some ground over here, but Rain is sitting on these wood platforms over here, trying to deny Habib any sort of aggression here. And Zilly goes in for yet another bomb, but he's denied by both Pablo and Mad as they just shoot him out of the sky. So, yeah, just Froyotech trying their best to pressure Shay, but with everyone playing around him the best they can now, looks like maybe Prevail's finally got their game plan together.
And Mad Ringme on the engineer's doing a good job. Shay does go down, Bull as well. So Shay down for 17. Bull's just coming back up right now. But they're going to work off that sniper pick. The level 3 Cinch Gun is still going to be something they have to deal with. They're getting a decent amount of damage onto it. And actually, Mad Ringme's going to pick it up. He does die when putting it back down, but it is still back up. Habib will be able to take it down with some nice stickies. Uber trade is coming off here, but it's going to be going in the favor of Froyotech as it should be. Pablo on heavy will go down, so not running a scout on defense, which is a little bit of a common tactic out of some teams. I know Cat Noises does it as well, opting to go for a little bit more firepower. But Bull has to be careful. He's currently alone by himself on this front ground. If Banny pushes into him, it's going to be a tough time defending against that.
Yeah, and we can see Bull's trademark aggression coming in yet again. No support from any of his team, just walking forward. Very, very confident he can take those trades out. But with Shay getting the pick earlier on Yoshi, being able to sit in this window and start looking down all the way in this hill, Zilly's looking like he wants to come in through his side, but he gets spotted out. That reflect coming in, BM getting a nice reflect kill over on Zilly as he gets pushed back, but on that distraction, looks like the Beeb's able to start walking forward. Everyone low. Bull also really hurt. Toy's gonna have to back up with Bull as they back all the way up, and Toy's getting hit by another pipe again. Everyone needing to back up for heals as Froyotech just taking advantage of every single pick, every single damage they managed to put on top of Prevail. They just start walking forward. Toy actually uses the Uber, looking to see if they can trade this Uber out or to defend this card a little bit, but Nursey flashing Space Ghost on the backline so they can keep this card pressure up. And now finally Prevail is going to have to back all the way up with a slightly aggressive gun. No, they pulled this gun back out through Catwalk, looking like they're going to try to set up a standard third hold maybe.
They're going to try, but it's going to be tough. Great job out of Nursey on that second fight. I mean, you mentioned the flashing, but really, that's huge because that's allowing players to be able to keep forward, keep this pressure up, and Froyotech's not going to let them get comfortable on this next point. It's only the Engineer pushing the cart, though. That's going to hurt Froyotech because of these really close respawns. It's actually pretty easy for Prevail to retake this as long as they don't lose too many at once. But Toy did go down there off of a body shot from Yosh just before. BM's going to run in onto Nursey, but isn't able to get the Miracle Flare. Does get a kill onto Yosh, so that's going to allow them to play at least a little bit more comfortably, but Froyotech still keeping up that pressure. Only times one in the card. Banny is going to get that ×3 now as he backs back up. Habib going down, though. So here we go. Respawn's just coming back up. You can see how close they are. Nursey has to be careful.
Nursey and Space Ghost both sitting with the Uber here in the elbow. Does she drop Space Ghost? No, Space Ghost not taking the Uber quite yet, but he does go finally down. Maybe Nursey turning around, trying to catch up with Banny was not the right play. You could have a heavy over here, but finally Nursey's going to have to sit and fight this Sentry one-on-one. Gets back down, almost flying off the cliff, but a nice surf, getting her back to safety. I don't think dropping Space Ghost was the right play there. I think you just walk forward with your heavy, you get on top of that gun. But finally, Mad pulling that gun all the way back. And on the back line, Zilly does pick up Mad and gets on top of Shay, cleaning up Shay as well. Habib jumping in for that big bomb. So even though the Uber didn't quite turn out right, they do have the flank plays. They do have the people in position to clean up on that post nonetheless. So Froyotech clearing off Prevail on third point and getting all this card pressure for free.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the downsides of having Prevail not having a scout is they don't have the ability to really adjust. BM is currently behind enemy lines. He's going to go in for the play. Here goes under Nursey. Oh, it looked interesting. It looked like he almost got something. I thought he got a reflect of some sort, but Nursey only ate a little bit of damage there. So Nursey's going to keep that sizable advantage as Toy is going to be holding up on his own bats, just kind of like Nursey was. And so here we go. Froyotech is holding out here as they are going on. Yoshi's going to go down as Rain takes control of underneath, but times one on the cart. Froyotech is working it forward.
Yeah, and finally, Bull trying to do his best to hold on to this upward without his team, but finally Toy takes that teleporter in. Nice teleporter spot here on upward last, just takes you back to the catwalk, but unfortunately they don't really have the players necessary. Nursey just Ubers right in, and Toy just spawning does not have Ubers, so they're going to back all the way up back to their bats here, and maybe take a more passive angle defending this. Shay over on the top right, getting pressure back into his spawn, but so much cart time's been capped, and they still have almost 4 minutes to get on top of this, and with players dropping left and right on the side of Prevail, they just have all this cap time, and Froyo, Banny, Space Ghost just getting on that cap. They get the cap. Just unrelenting pressure, and I think Prevail just drops too many players at all the wrong times in order to hold on to this. I think there were so many people, Pablo, BM, all trying to walk forward and make hero plays, but I don't know, on upward, I don't think that's the play on defense. I think they should have maybe just sat back, made consistent plays, try not to die, and, hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, they could have, done a little bit of an interesting play there on the third point when Froyotech was holding so, close, is maybe you don't commit Toy. You keep Toy kind of healing from the rafters, where the drop down is, and just kind of try to bait out the Ubercharge. You try to bait out the Ubercharge from Froyotech, and then you drop down and try to re-aggress with everybody together. But, that was really the chance right there. I mean, obviously in the final point, they needed to play a little bit stronger, but I feel like the third point, they had a chance if they just played a little bit more cleanly and had a little bit of a better push together with the respawn waves. But it really kind of felt like they're kind of going in alone, and I feel like that's where Prevail's really having their downside is if they're just trying to all kind of make their own plays, it doesn't work out well for them, especially against such a quality team as Froyotech. It maybe works against other teams, but Froyotech is just too damn good to fall for that.
Exactly, and pulling up these logs, we can see that just a pretty convincing frag difference between the two teams. Froyotech sitting on 84 kills for their team versus 61 from Prevail. Damage kind of even, only 1,000 more damage from Froyotech, but it just looks like even though all the damage was coming out, all the necessary damage from Prevail, they just were not playing together. No one's cleaning up on these kills. My personal MVP was Zilly, consistently on the back line, consistently getting the frags he needed to in order to open up those opportunities. On third, he made brilliant play going behind them, even during that failed Uber from Nursey, and gets the cleanup on Mad as he tried to pull that gun back. gets the follow-up kill on Shay and just cracks that third point wide open. Zilly 20 frags in this game. Closest other player is Space Ghost with 15. So hats off to Zilly here.
Yeah, Zilly. I mean, especially after that first round, you know, you would think looking at Cascade where Rain was just absolutely like destroying Zilly in terms of frags and damage and all that different stuff. You know, on the other inverse here, Rain he bottom fragged 6 frags for your soldier on a payload map. Like that is not great. Especially Rain. I mean, I know him. I've played against him. He's a quality player, but it just really is not working out well for him. So we'll see if Prevail can step up here. But it's going to be a tough call as we are getting started up here in this second half. It is match point in the favor of Froyotech. They're going to be starting out here on offense, setting the time. They just put up probably about, what, a 6-minute time, if I had to guess, you know, roughly. So we'll see if they can
They
keep
almost had 4 minutes left. I think that was almost a 5-minute time.
Yeah, I mean, they
5.5
basically
minutes,
had no...
maybe.
Yeah, they had almost no stoppage. I mean, they pretty much pushed all the way through from the first point on, so... we'll see what they can do as they get set up here, but I guess what changes? So it looks like Rain Prevail. They do have a scout to get the medic back. I guess I'm kind of questioning of whether or not they're going to hold Pablo on scout, which I think would be a good idea. I think not having the scout kind of worked against them. I think, you know, just for the player style and how good Pablo is, I think it was limiting to put Pablo on the heavy class.
Right, but it's definitely, you know, you're going to see a lot more chase potential, a lot more follow-up potential, but, oh, BM finally switching off to Pyro. So I was just worried that they were not running either a Pyro or a Soldier, and without those classes, they're just going to have, they were going to have a bit of a gimped
Rain's on heavy. They're not running a Soldier.
Yeah, exactly, and so they're not going to be able to use that spam and that's explosives coming in. Shay trying to take a cheeky shot over through there, but Space Ghost looking like he's ready to make maybe a bit of a gimmicky play, trying to do the BM strat, just walking straight through the corner, hoping that Toy's around the corner, but Toy's, you know, wise to the strategy, backing all the way up and playing right in front of the gun here. So we're gonna have to see how this plays up. Ghost rounding that corner, but instantly getting cleaned up, and 3 kills coming in from 1 detonation. Bull cleaning up Habib, Manny, and Space Ghost all in one blow, and 4 players down inside of Protech as they're coming back in, but Yosh is, you know, still trying to make some openings, still sitting here on the card. Ash getting reliable card time, and yeah, Froyo's gonna have to try their best to, you know, find an opening here.
Yeah, those deaths are not that big of a deal. Anybody who's kind of new to this, the offense gets really short respawn, so every death you take is, you know, only like 8 seconds at the worst. And the cart's in position, so it looks like they're just going to go for an Uber trade or trying to force something out here. Zilly jumping in, gets blown back by the Soldier, or sorry, by the Pyro, as well as the Cinch Gun. Banny tries to go behind, but he gets easily cleaned up there. But they're getting a lot of damage on. Bull is just getting back up now as Zilly goes down, as Bull's going to get to the front line. Here comes out the Ubercharge, much better here for BM on the red side. Chasing forward is going to take down one. That's Shay taking down Ash on cart, and this is looking like a very solid defense for Prevail, and they're backing up, but I really disagree with that. They have a Cinch Gun, they have a Teleporter. There is no reason for them to give up that front line.
I think it's because Mad was dead at the time, so even though that gun was up, it was low health. It was just going to go down instantly. So, you know, I definitely think it was the right move to pull out, because they did get a, you know, standard enough time for defense on first, 1 minute 30 seconds, but now Yosh easily walking forward, but he does get picked out by Shay, so Bull's gonna be happy to just start sitting forward and getting spam down here. Banny actually getting really confident, starting to walk forward on top of Bull, and Bull maybe getting a little over aggressive, but Banny does drop down over the cliffside, reunites with the card and just starts getting some card time. Just no pressure onto the card, it seems like, from Prevail, looking like they might be making the same mistake again. You know, focusing too much on trying to take combo versus combo fights, Uber versus Uber, but forgetting that there's an objective in the game as all players are Froyo pressuring through tunnels, and, you know, Prevail finally having to rotate and deal with this cart pressure.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that pushing through the cart path is really hard. Them ignoring it isn't the worst in the world. Really, you want to control the upper area. If you do that, you can do whatever you want. Toy going down to 10 HP. Nursey is going to need to get forced off here. Will the blue Uber be used? No, Nursey milking it for so long. Finally get forced off here. Bull gets annihilated in the air. Toy surely will fall as he's trying to back up to the Cinch Gun. The Uber charges up, but here comes in Rain from behind. He's not spotted. Space Ghost is going to get taken down. Rain so incredibly low, but Nursey will be able to get the Uber Saw off, but that is everybody down besides BM here. 4 Prevail as the second point will fall in the favor of Froyotech, but a solid defense coming up there. But I mean, that's just, it's like if you drop everybody down to go deal with the lower area, you give up Hill, and Hill is much more important of the thing to hold on to, though. BM is hiding inside of the back spawn. I think Zilly knows this, as he's just watching that gate to pop open as BM's waiting to make a big play. But here comes in Banny. He's actually, speaking of being behind, Banny's back on the last point, takes down Shay, so no sniper here for 12 seconds.
Banny coming right back in again, pressuring Rain in that elbow. Actually, he's going to go for a kill just with big brain positioning, sitting all the way back to their spawn. Now he's going to pressure from the side, shooting down Mad, but he's getting pressure back as Toy and Pablo looking like, yeah, just Prevail does not even want to contest this third point. They back all the way up, and it's only Pablo and Toy trying to take this fight here. Zilly walks forward, almost cleaning up Pablo, actually finally losing that fight. Pablo hitting big frags, managing to keep Toy safe here on upper as they start bringing players forward to maybe establish a more solid hold here on fourth. Jay trying to go for a bit of a cheeky peek here on third, maybe get a nice frag as they push through, but misses the shot over onto Yosh and onto Space Ghost on cart, so they're gonna have to give this up. Back all the way up onto fourth here. So third point, easy push, and they're coming right back in. Nursey Ubering straight into this. Toy does have an Uber to counter this, but they're milking it out though. Toy finally Ubering, dropping all his players. The rain goes down, and Toy's gonna have to jump all the way out. Looking like a total misfire on the side of Prevail here.
Yeah, Prevail, I don't think they were expecting Froyotech to push in before they captured the point. Really caught them off guard. Nice job out of Froyotech. I mean, that's the thing that Froyotech does really well is they play so unconventionally. They don't play like Highlander players. They kind of play like players that are just trying to play the format to the best of their ability. And that creates some unique circumstances where I don't think you'd ever see a Highlander team pushing into last that early on. But it works out well for them and catches Prevail with their pants down. So they are able to get reestablished back up here. The Pablo down for 20 seconds on Soldier. Now here comes in Habib going in for the combo. He's going to fall into the pit as he sacrifices his life, not really getting much for it. Here comes in Zilly though, trying to clean up, does take down Toy. Bull is able to keep his life though, is Rain behind on Scout now. A little bit of class swapping going on to Space Ghost. Is he able to get the frag? Dancing around it, but Space Ghost survives with 5 HP. The cart's rolling in here. Will they be able to defend this? Slowly but surely, it's rolling in. Banny jumps off of it. The Soldier gets denied in the air, but both from above, from behind, they don't expect it. He's on a 3K right now, going for another, but Zilly and Habib will clean him up. It's just Mad Ring meaning he won't be able to do enough. The Heavy cannot jump onto the cart, rolls into the pit, and that is a 5 minutes, 14-second time, and that is blazing fast. I cannot see Prevail being able to come back from that.
Yeah, certainly. I think maybe some still starting to set in too with all these misplays coming in and this class swapping. Maybe they're starting to just grasp at straws here, see what strategies they can pull out of the bag to deal with this Froyotech aggression. But unfortunately, just people dying at the wrong times, people dying in the wrong places, maybe not rotating to deal with the right things here and there. And now Prevail's on the back foot. 5 minutes and 14 seconds. They're gonna have to try a blazing fast push of their own here. But unfortunately, without Shay really just dominating the game, Yosh sitting on top of him, even though Shay is sitting on the top of his scoreboard for his team, sans the medic, still just not quite enough. BM and Pablo and Mad all sitting with less than 5 points, so just not enough contribution coming out from players on Prevail.
Yeah, I mean, especially on defense, you got to see the Pyro stepping up more. I mean, Pyro can be pretty big on that third point, but it seems like they never could transition out of that second point effectively. Every time they got wiped, Froyotech was already taking control of the third point, so effectively. And so Froyotech, I would say they have plenty of time to work with. It's the inverse, but I mean, truly they do. And so we'll see what they want to do here. Mad Ring Me on Spy, running up here, uses his Invis Watch to get behind early on, trying to figure out which route he wants to go down as he's getting himself into position. That's Prevail just working up the cart right now. And here we go, Bull coming in with the base jumper. But it's not going to get the sap. They take down the gun, but actually BM onto Nursey does get the force off. Nice job. That's exactly what Prevail needed to do to open up this game.
Certainly, and they're going to have to wait for this. They're going to have to push right out as soon as their spawns come in, too. With only 4 minutes, 30 seconds left to get on top of this offense, they're going to have to start pushing as soon as they can. Looking like Froyotech taking the hint. They're backing out early, getting onto second, and Mad looking for a stab here. Habib not seeing it, but Mad beats the stab, and Habib backing out safely. Mad, what a crucial pick that would have been, but unfortunately for Mad, he swing and a miss, and now Froyotech getting a good forward hold here on top of Hill and being able to get that aggression here on second as Shay kind of uncontested here on that sniper sightline here on Hill, but finally Yosh in position getting a sightline on top of Shay. So, both snipers getting a little, Shay finally going down to Yosh, but, a little antsy on both sides, and Yosh finally getting aggressive, but Mad gets on top of Yosh, gets the pick, and with Shay coming up in just a moment, will this be the key for them to crack open the second push?
They're walking across. The big thing, though, is they got to focus the objective Prevail as they do have times 3 on it, but they were missing that for quite a while. Bull jumping into that cinch gun will be able to get a lot of damage onto it, but he trades himself out once again. Bull just too aggressive for his team. Habib's going to try to recontest back on this point, getting connected back up with Skazos, but that level 3 cinch gun will be a difficult thing to overcome here. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Mad Ringme's getting himself in position. Habib, he actually might get pushed off the cliff. He does actually get pushed. And so BM goes down, but not going to be able to do much. Pablo jumping in onto Yosh. Easily gets taken down there, but Nursey drops! That is Rain jumping in there as he will go down, but I mean, as much as these picks are great, I mean, you got to make something off of them. They need to go in right away after this. They need to win the fight, push the cart to be even able to have a chance. They really can't wait around for this, and Bold needs to stop dying.
With 3 minutes left, this is going to come down to the absolute wire if they have any hope of getting this at all. And Bull walking forward, Shake instantly getting picked off by Yosh playing next to those crates, and 2 picks coming out. Prevail already down 2 players on the second push as they're coming back in. I don't know if they're going to be able to make a successful push waiting for these spawns in. So Mad's going to have to come in, maybe get a couple miracle stabs as he starts walking around through the back, decloaking behind the house. Maybe going to start going for a stab, but maybe he's just pressuring through sewer. So Prevail choosing to back all the way up. Bull hitting Zilly down with that bottle of his, and Habib coming and trying to get that smack down onto his toy, but unfortunately, even though they're not losing players now, Prevail just does not have the ground, they do not have the picks, and they do not have the advantages they need to be able to get on top of this in a timely manner.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, Mad Ringman needs to switch off now. I mean, obviously you want to have somebody to make big plays to help out your team, but you also need somebody to push the cart. They get the frags here, Zilly down incredibly low. Pablo should be able to come down with the second point. He's being contested. Now, actually, Habib and Banny, they're going to even stop that from happening. And I think with that falter, as we get a little bit of lag there on the server, or maybe that was just me. I mean, that almost is the game. We're getting into very, very close to garbage time here. Banny running into Shay. Shay down incredibly low will be finally picked up there. Ubercharge is used out here from Bull as Mad does get a stab onto Habib there, but how much is it worth? Mad, though, decloaking on the cart, will come down with the second point.
Unfortunately, with all their players down, no cart pressure to be seen. Even with this second cap, I don't think it's possible. I think the rest of this is just going to be dead time from this point on. So Yosh still actually kind of sneaky on the side here, looking through a crack in the wall, looking onto cart, but he's going to go behind, maybe go for one of those big plays on the side just to, end this game with a bang here. And finally, everyone on Prevail getting on this cart, but with only 1 minute left, it's going to be if they have any chance of getting it in at all, it's gonna have to be with everyone on the card at every second here. Mad going behind, looking for a big play, still on that spy, maybe looking to just crack this wide open with a miracle, but with Ash nowhere to be seen. If Mad goes for the stab now, unfortunate decloak timing. Ash just catches him out. The sap does not work, and on the back line, Zilly does manage to catch out Toy. No heals, no cart pressure. Sigafu, I think this is over.
Yeah, this is going to be game here. So nice job to Froyotech. Congratulations to them as they were able to come down with them. A nice comeback after that really decisive. I mean, it wasn't decisive. It was just a really good gameplay coming out from Prevail in that first round, overtaking them. But they kind of seemed to fall apart. I think the play styles, having a few too many subs, Pablo as well as Bull are substitutes here for Prevail today. But Froyotech will be moving on to the grand finals, though. We'll be playing against Cat Noises, who they lost to I think it was the first regular season loss for Froyotech ever inside of RGL, came at the hands of Cat Noises. So definitely be looking forward to that matchup later on in this week. Make sure that you tune in to follow us, sub to us, whatever you need to do to make sure that you're going to come back here and watch these grand finals. It's an absolute cannot miss match. But Froyotech, congratulations to them as they absolutely deserve taking the final 2 maps to go into the grand finals here, as we can kind of look at the stats, but I don't think there's going to be really too much to glean here. But if you guys have been enjoying following us, definitely, or watching us here, don't forget to give us a follow here, get notified whenever we go live, and don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. You can get links below that for our YouTube, Twitter, all that different stuff, get match VODs, all the things you want to see out of RGL. You get more connected with us. It won't be a bad thing, I promise. So looking at the logs there, Flair, what are you seeing?
I mean, just pretty much what I'm expecting. Yosh going ham 16-6 against Shay's 8-10, and Banny top fragging at 18 kills and only 6 deaths. I'm not sure I can say necessarily it's because they played well, though they played a hell of a game. I think it's just Prevail breaking down, feeding the sniper free kills, feeding the scout free kills, not pushing together when they need to, and just unfortunately with the total lack of coordination, it seemed like uh, just these two the sniper and the scout, both on the side of Froyo, just getting easy kills here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to work out, really well for them. I mean, Banny was just doing a good job. I mean, that's kind of one of those things too, where it's like Banny's just doing a good job of, getting aggressive, making interesting flank plays and different things. I mean, he's 18, or he's at a 4.0 KAD, which for a scout is very impressive. Going 2-0 would be impressive, with a KAD inside of an upward map because, you got to balance pushing the cart, getting frags, when to get aggressive. You're on a very weak class in terms of HP, but he's really making it work just with his playstyle and his intelligence. I think, Mad Ring Me only had 4 frags that entire game. BM also. I mean, really the pick classes inside of Cascade really elevated them up to be able to compete. I mean, BM and Mad inside of Cascade were doing work, but once, the round of Coal Plant hit, they started doing worse. And then onto this map, it's like, it's just so hard to make an impact on a flex class if your team's just really not doing a great job, especially Spy. If your team's losing, playing Spy is generally pretty awful because you don't have those distractions to use to make plays off of. And I kind of wonder if Mad was playing Engineer a little bit more often, if that would have helped out his team a little bit more. But it's easy to play Armchair, but definitely it seemed like either way, not even taken away from them, but Freytech was just doing a good job dealing with the flex classes, stopping them from being able to make any real noise in this final half.
Yeah, absolutely. So, coming out on the side, I'd like to see how Frotech takes us into Cat Noise again, because Cat Noise is definitely a very dynamic team. Frotech definitely goes for stable, consistent strats, but with Cat Noise being able to pull out a lot of tricks out from their bag, when Frotech advancing over these grand finals, I'd like to see how this matchup combines definitely with more consistency, more team play coming out from Cat Noise as well. Definitely going to be a hype grand finals to see, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. But I think with that, I mean, we've been going on for about 2 hours. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us here tonight, and hope we put up a good finals or semifinals for you. It's definitely fun to watch as Tech was able to kind of streamline it towards the end. Flair, any shout outs you want to give here as we start to wrap it up?
As always, shout out to our man Dolphin, ever watchful, ever present, guardian angel of RGL casting behind the camera. Thank you very much, Dolphin. Wink, wink everywhere. Give him some love, fellas.
He is fantastic. Yeah, definitely got to give some love to Dolphin. Toss out those RGL GG blinks for our blinking Dolphin man if you guys are subscribed to our channels. We are also looking for a second emote that we'll get up there since we have been fortunately able enough to earn that. I think, yeah, besides Dolphin, thank you to Prevail for putting up a great season, stepping up to plate and putting up a really exciting semifinal matchup. Congratulations again to Freyotech for being able to, overcome Prevail, really kind of earn their own name, and just show why they are such a dominant force inside this league, inside of every league, let's be honest, and what they've done with it. But I think with that, thank you, I guess, finally to all you guys, all the viewers out there. Every single viewership that you get to us helps us out. We're starting to look for sponsors. We're starting to build up this league a little bit more, and getting the extra viewership, getting the chatters, getting all that different stuff. Whenever you guys, like, retweet, all the different stuff on the social medias, on Reddit, all the different stuff, it does help us out, makes us a little bit more promoted, and gets us more likely to be able to try to help push TF2 ever further, which is the goal of RGL at the end of the day. And so that's only possible because of people like you, PBS or something like logo now. But we're not going to have a chat, like a marathon for you guys to give us money. But you guys can join some of our leagues. If you guys are interested, Highlander starting up in about 2 weeks now. So if you guys are interested in playing some TF2, check out Highlander. Go to rgl.gg and you can find out more information on that. But with that, we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much again to Flair as well as Dolphin for helping me with this production tonight. Congratulations again to Freyotech. And with that, have a good rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.